Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show. Okay, there it is. Yeah. There's a way these got to be on. I don't know why, but it matters, I guess. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. Let's take a look at BTC and break it down for each and every one of you. For Bitcoin, gave a beautiful call this morning for Bitcoin. It was inside of what looks like a descending triangle. Very simple. I woke up last night. Let's talk about it. Last night at about 9:30, I saw shoulder, head, right shoulder. I saw a descending triangle that was likely going to dump. And I put it out to the group. I said, this is likely going to dump. I think maybe it was here. Yes, this was what it was here. And I said, this is likely going to make oh, here it was. Okay. No, that was it. Yeah, this is it here. I said, man, that's going to continue lower. I see that as a descending triangle. That's going to go lower. Let me actually look at the exact post because I'm trying to go by memory. And I gave you the stop loss, everything, exactly how to trade it, just in case you didn't know, you know what I mean? But right here, so I saw it as, yeah, there. I saw it kind of like shoulder, you know, and it just looked like it was going to dump. I mean, that's an obvious dump. Look at it, sloping down. And the entry there at about 71,000. And it says it's going to 68,950. And we're basically there. You know what I mean? So shout out to anyone that took this call. Never hit the stop loss. Came down, came up, and then continued to dip with a bearish retest there off the bottom of the trend line. If I could show the screen, it might be a good idea. You know what I mean? But so here we go. Let me show you what's happening here. So last night I gave this call right here. Inside of this flag, 71,005 down to 68,951. And I love how that chat goes crazy. All right, and there you go, man. 68,950 was the target. It went even lower, 68,495. And then I gave another trade this morning because it obviously looked like it was going to go lower. But just go back, and then I gave this trade. So then this morning I woke up and said, you know, if you missed last night's call, the entry's right here. Right, with the stop above these highs, and it's looked like it's going to dump again. And descending triangles are just so dependable. They break down more than any other chart. Like they do exactly what they say they're going to do. It's amazing. So when you see the descending triangle, pay attention. All right, it pays. And either you got into the short this morning or the short last night. Either one got you paid inside the trading group. I also got altcoins that are ripping during this Bitcoin dump. I've given altcoins that are pumping. I gave a hype call that started to do damage, and it was actually pretty sketchy. A lot of people were like, how do you get into a coin when it's that high? I find the rising wedge. I show you where to enter. I show you where to put the stop loss. You're in the money now. You can move that stop loss to break even. Banged on them to the upside. I talked about ORDI yesterday. I said I liked ORDI in a flag to the upside. I said I would pay attention to ORDI. Looks like it's about to blast. And wait, my TA should slap on there. Wait, what happened there? Did I delete the TA? Anyway, ORDI banging to the upside. Maybe I put it in a different chart. Maybe I used the BINANCE chart, possibly. I don't know what chart I used, but ORDI pumping to the upside as well. Out the flag. Let me show you inside of my alt section here. I swear I did a lot. I don't want to show you guys the other stuff, but Injective keeps pumping to the upside. We had an XLM call there. Ton. XLM ripped out that flag to the upside. Unbelievable. Where's that ORDI call? There it is. ORDI. Inside this flag. Told you to watch out. Put an alert here. Pump to the target. It did double back down, but it hit that target at 407. Absolutely beautiful. I'm trying to see where the heck did I put that chart out? Oh, it's on the WEEX. Yes. On WEEX. ORDI on WEEX, baby. Shout out to my traders on WEEX. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. And there's that ORDI chart to the upside. Bang. Bang. I mean, vicious. And there's been a lot of altcoins that continue to pump despite Bitcoin. I actually got a bunch of setups in the trading group for altcoins that look good right now. And honestly, there seem to be decoupling. DeFi is decoupling for Bitcoin. We're starting to see something happening here for BTC. Anyway, let's break down our top-down analysis for Bitcoin. Solana looks garbage. Solana looks like it's going down to $9. I don't know what's happening. Maybe it's because the meme coins are done. Shoulder, head, right shoulder there. Shoulder, head, shoulder there. And then it's in a bear flag. So the rest of the market is somewhat promising. This is following Bitcoin to the downside. I don't know. Solana doesn't look good. If you think about it, Solana was speculative memes and pump fun and all that stuff, and that really kept it moving. Now that people are into utility and not into memes anymore, and the money isn't flowing into memes, the money ain't flowing into Solana. It's facts. I still think it's a great chain that could be used for other things, not just memes. But dang. Bitcoin absolutely collapsing today to the downside. And if you took that short there on that right shoulder, like I talked about, you're in the money now. It was just obvious, a right shoulder, right? Head and shoulder pattern says it's going right there to 68,000. I don't know what to tell you. And all you got to do is enter right there, put a stop above the wicks. It's not that hard. Trading patterns is amazing. You don't have to have 1,000 indicators. You don't have to know anything. You just have to know how to trade a right shoulder, folks. And look, that's a descending triangle. And I teach you these descending triangles. I showed you two today that played out nicely on the smaller time frames. Wow, this is just imploding. Look at that. Bitcoin. Massive dump for BTC. Shout out to all my traders making gains. I gave the short. We talked about the short. We went over it. I gave this right shoulder short. And I gave multiple flags along the way to the downside. Right? Unbelievable. Love it. Love it. Love it. And rejection by the 200 moving average. Everything makes sense right now. Let's kind of zoom out to the bigger picture. Where are we going? What's happening to BTC? Let's shrink that right side. I don't need that. And let's take a look at what's happening to BTC right now. So, you know, very oversold, but if you look at the stochastics RSI, they are curving. Like they could kind of hang out down here like one of these. It could get nasty, hang out real low, right? Or are we double bottoming? Let's take a look. You know, the one thing I don't like is that's a head and shoulder on the monthly. I don't care what anybody says. It's a head and shoulder pattern, clear as day. Very similar to this one. It's almost like identical. And Bitcoin took that head and shoulder to the downside back to 15,000 from the high at 40K. I guess you could take a conservative. I usually take wick to wick, man. You know what I mean? Or at least the neckline. You want to make sure you draw a good neckline. But just like we shorted the daily, this is telling us to get into a short of the monthly. Get in here, put a stop above here, and let this thing dump. The crazy thing is that target's 6,000, 5,000. I'm not saying it's going to go there for sure. But I'm just telling you that there's a pattern right now that's telling us that we could go really, really low for Bitcoin. And I'm a pattern guy. I just do what the patterns tell me. Look, they play out. They played out in the daily. So I'm not trying to tell you I know what's happening. I don't. I have no clue. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I don't have any idea where Bitcoin's going. I want to make that very, very clear. I have not a clue where Bitcoin's going to go. No clue. Not any idea at all. You know what I mean? But the charts do tell me on a day-to-day basis how I can make money off of them. You see what I mean? The people that make the most money on the charts aren't the people that know where the chart's going. They're the people that just make money when the chart does a certain thing. They just have their brain trained. You understand? That's the keys. That's the concept. That's what I want to get through to you today. That it's more than just, you know, indicators and trading. It's about hitting the same concept day in and day out, going at it over and over and over and over again. So that to me is bearish on the bigger time frame. I tell you what, like a $38,000 Bitcoin doesn't seem, you know, that would be actually great. 32,000, like this is sketchy business right here. Take a look at the 2-week chart. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. You know what I mean? Like that's a head and shoulder pattern on the 2-week chart. I don't know what to tell people, but it is what it is. You can fight it all you want, but you gotta listen to the charts. All right? Not your emotions. Previous resistance support right there is the only thing holding us down that we could possibly get a move. It was a cup and handle. There was a chance. I tell you what, now the 2-week chart looks like it's folding over. The weekly looks absolutely horrible, and it's just starting to dump. It's just beginning its downward momentum. That's got dump city written all over it. The crazy thing is, it doesn't make sense to me because the fear and greed was at 5. You know what I mean? How do you go to 5 and then not make a blasting recovery? A lot of people believe the bottom is in. Like maybe we double bottom here off the weekly 200 moving average. But man, 1, 2, 3. Look at that. It happens so fast, right? It's like a red candle, then And again, the second this candle closes red, you front run it with a stop loss above here. Candle trading is amazing. Just trade the candles, nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd be amazing how good you'd be with candle. Look, this, you just get in here when this right green turns into it, right, you would front run this halfway. The more you do it, the more you can front run because the more trades you have behind it. So you have better odds. You know, if you first, you got to wait for the candle to close. You take as many as you can. Then you can start front running if you've hit like 10 of them. You know what I mean? Because you have a little leeway in the risk. So now you can play that game. See, the more you win, the more you can risk. Now, I'm not saying the more, but you know what I mean? The more risk you could take comparably to how you used to trade. I'm not saying go all in every time. It's not like that, but dang, man, what a dump for BTC. And last night it said it was going to dump. We could see it. There's the daily dumping to the downside. Where is the pain? Oh, when is this going to end? I'll be honest, you flip it upside down and you got to have to start to look at it. It does look like it may come for a double top, though. You know, it's very oversold on the daily. RSI didn't get this low until we took the low right there on the daily time frame. I mean, we really hit the bottom line. The dotted line, we only hit it once here in February of 2025, November, February of 2026, August. You know what I mean? It's like a once every 6 month thing. It's, you don't, you know, there it only happened once. There it happened in August of 2023, and then July and June of 2024. It took a year. So it's definitely like, you know, you're definitely getting into the extended area of dumpage for Bitcoin. But man, it was all there. They made the right shoulder. It's none of this was surprise to me. Like, this is exactly what's supposed to happen. So the TA played out exactly. The only thing that didn't happen is we got no love on the support of resistance, like nothing. Like, I find that odd. I mean, actually that's not true because we did bounce. We hit support, we bounce, and then we just rolled over. The smaller time frames, the 15-minute, those descending triangles told you where to short the market and to give you that pain to the downside. Let's take a look at the 12-hour, 22, both lower than when you lose the 200 moving average, bear flag in it. Nasty, man. 8-hour was in a bear flag there. Obvious 21 below the 200. You know what I mean? It's just like the stuff I teach right here. The 21 below the 200 on the 4-hour time frame tells you right where to get into the short, right there. This stuff is obvious stuff. It just, that's what we trade this on the 1 minute every single day long. You flip it upside down, you just trade it short. I can teach you how to short along any market in the world. I just got to get your mind to see it. Okay? Listen, I've been trading for 20 years. You know what I mean? I've made my money. And I'll continue to make my money in this game. It's for you to understand the insight that I've picked up over time. Look at that, man. The measured move. Actually, it's even deeper than the measured move. It's the 8-hour measured move, I guess. There would tell me just this. Wow, plowing to the downside. 67,750 for Bitcoin. Like insane. The dumpage right now. And when will it end? I mean, I don't see an end to this pain. Wow. Wow. And there's the short just absolutely collapsing. If you took the short with the lifers, man. You just got so paid. Congratulations to anyone that just took the call. You would have woke up this morning and just traded what I gave you. No thought. You know what I mean? $99. Go to the Discord. Go to CryptoLifer.com. Stop playing games. Go to the simplest way to trade. Like, I don't give you 1,000 things. You don't have to watch this and that. You don't have to have a short and a long and 1,000 things open. You can just do one trade, wake up in the morning, see one pattern, one idea. It took 3 lines to draw that pattern. You know what I mean? $99 a month. Stop playing yourself. I'm here every single day. If you got wrecked and you're losing, if you keep getting emotionally up and down, if you don't know what you're doing, you got to get a mentor. You got to find your way. Go to CryptoLifer.com. I'm here every single day. Come on now. I'm not going to leave you hanging. I'm going to find the shorts. I'm going to find the longs. I'm going to be accurate more than I'm not going to be. I'm going to be more accurate than I'm not. Facts. Facts. My friends can attest to it. People that met me and weren't even into crypto, and then they started trading. They said, man, this guy's spot on. So get the knowledge from other people, man. They're telling you that they're learning from me all around the world. We're talking thousands of people. So look at that dump, man, on the 15. And now I got to start looking at the smaller time frames. Like, when is this? This is just nuts. And it all starts when you lose the 200 moving average on the 1 minute time frame. Sayonara, right? Last night we lost the 200, we started to dip, and then dang. So now it's the same story. How do we get out of this? I mean, we got to watch the 1 minute. The 1 minute either has to do a V-shaped recovery, and this is the same. We've been watching this story now every day now. So either the 1 minute does a 1 minute recovery here, V-shaped recovery, or we make a bear flag that continues lower. Now you need the smaller time frames to put in a reversal pattern. The reverse starts on the smaller time frames. It works its way through 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour time frame. This is how it's going to go. So we're going to be able to kind of figure out what's going to happen here. If this gets tighter, we go lower. You see what I'm saying? That's 67,000. This starts to bounce. Maybe we take a right shoulder back to the upside. I don't trade the long till we get back above the 200, or we get a tweezer bottom of the 15 or the 1 hour time frame. I have front run the 1 minute 200 only when I've seen a bigger time frame close at tweezer bottom. Like right now, the 15 minute is attempting a reversal. You could definitely ape into this candle right now. I mean, it kind of feels like we can. Like, that's an insane move. So I was moving some funds around, taking some money out of different accounts. So here's the deal. I mean, that could bounce on the 15-minute time frame. Makes me want to ape it right now. And what you do is you just ape. Right? Anyway, my 1 minute time frame there. And so this is what I do now. You can kind of tell what's going to happen on the day. You got to slow down. You come to the 1 minute. You don't watch giant candles on the 4 hour, the 1 hour, because they're just going to make you, oh my gosh, a big red candle the 1 hour. You're not going to be able to see what's happening. You need the smaller time frames. I'm telling you right now, they're going to give you the insight to hook you up. They're going to let you see what maybe you didn't see before, Shout out to all my traders live trading here on WEEX. God bless everyone here. If you want to trade, we have a link to WEEX. Jump on in today. And WEEX has everything. Good customer service. Great liquidity. You know what I mean? My orders always hit. My stop losses hit every time. I can honestly attest, I've never had a stop loss fall through on WEEX in my life. If I put a stop loss at whatever price it's at, it hits it. I mainly trade Bitcoin, so I can't attest to everything else. But on Bitcoin, man, that liquidity is so perfect. And once I get attached to liquidity and I know that things are going to go well, I don't want to go nowhere else. You know what I mean? I trade where it makes sense to me. I like WEEX right now. Right? It's moving. And also, when we first started working with them, there was things we wanted to change, and we asked, and they really listened to our community. They started an incubator. They listened to everybody inside our Discord, and they changed. And they made different arrangements for it to be as fluid as we would ask for. So great exchange, great people, good, and also ran well. 68988 would be that target if I decide to ape in. 67,555 would be my stop. Let's see. What goes down must come up. What goes up must come down. That's been a massive dump. I mean, nothing, usually you'll go sideways a little bit or some type of recovery. We'll see. And I think about it. I got to let my subconscious mind seep in here and see if it's worth taking the trade. I want to see if the 1 minute is showing signs of a reversal here. It is looking strong. And honestly, I could see that as a V-shaped recovery. That was a nasty dump. Look, I'd already be in the money if I just pulled the trigger by now. Look, it's not a 3-to-1 anymore. You see, now I have to go higher to get the 3-to-1. I got to get back to 69,130 now, which I may not even get to. This could just bear flag its way right down. Let's take a look at BOOKMAP and see what's happening to the liquidity on either side. I mean, BOOKMAP says they want lower, 66,000. BOOKMAP says it ain't done yet. Says we're going to continue to dump down to 66,000. This is a massive dump for Bitcoin. No, you know what I mean? Damn, would have been in the money again had I keep hesitating on the trigger pull. We had you in at 67,969, right? It's already up about $100. Money, the trade is to ape the 15-minute green candle. I mean, it's high risk. We got 10 minutes before it closes. It could easily close red and continue to dump. If you're just joining me, we're looking to see if this 15-minute time frame can reverse. Right? We get back to 71,000 somewhere by tomorrow night, tonight. You know what I mean? Everyone's, you were scared. No, you were scared. Or, you know what I mean? It keeps edging up. 5-minute time frame. Let's take a look. It's got a pretty big wick. It says, hey, a bunch of late people jumped into that late short. You know they did. And so there's liquidations right here. Because emotions, man. A candle this big creates emotions. A lot of people jump on in. I'm hesitating, though, right now. I'm chilling. Let's take a look at the Forex Factory. No news today, right? Today feels like a Monday, but it's Tuesday already, right? June 2nd. What a beautiful day it is to be alive. God bless everybody here. We had Jolt's job opening. And wow, Jolt's job openings were big, right? 7.62 million above. That's a bullish sign for the regular market. Nothing matters for Bitcoin. It doesn't matter what happens to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's getting sold off like a sheep. I don't know what's happening. But, you know, that was some bullish news for the overall market. S&P futures, NASDAQ. And we gave you the S&P too. I like lit right now. If you want to put that on your radar, if it can get over this Bitcoin dump and still hold its own. Did the S&P really just do that? What the heck? Or is that a glitch? That didn't just happen. That's got to be a TradingView glitch, right? We didn't wick to 7,000. That would have been all over the news. You know what I mean? That's got to be a glitch. Let's look at the NQ if it's got the same glitch in it. No, yeah. So weird how the APIs glitch like that. You know, I see a breakout on the S&P. I see a breakout on the NASDAQ. I see them about to explode to the upside on a massive push. And it's going to come from that, you know, that IPO on SpaceX. I mean, there's so many crazy things happening all at once right now that are affecting just the moment. Right? Dang, man. This thing is ripping. I'm missing out now. Like, I had the entry already. I didn't ape. You got to ape this stuff. You got to just believe in it and throw it in there. Dang, it's V-shape recovering already. If you aped already, you're in the money. We would have aped at 67.9. You know, it's now 68.2. I don't know if I trust it too much really right now, just yet. And we got to do an inverted head and shoulder here to save the day. Liquidity is deep, down to 67,000, suggesting that there's going to be a lower dump. But you never know. But BOOKMAP is suggesting that we're going to liquidate more longs down there at 67, 66,000. And damn, my monthly long got stopped out of, you know, a little bit into profit. I put it up at like $300 in profit. Hey, I never traded the monthly. I waited 2 months. I was super, super, super quiet about it, and I just waited and waited. It's a vicious game, man. And again, you do it again and again. And one day you'll make so much money on that monthly. The first one might not pay it, the second one. And it takes you might only make 3 trades in 2 years. You know, because the monthly is so big. It takes so much time to find out whether you hit or not. Such an interesting concept. And that's why big time frames are not easy to trade, because your mind expects a faster result. You can't handle it. You want to know quicker before it happens, but you can't. You got to wait it out. Patience pays the trader on the monthly, on the bigger time frames. Right? Shoulder, head, right shoulder. Can we get this bigger move to the upside for Bitcoin? Are we going to get the reversal here? Great time to take some profits away from the 21-day moving average. You know, especially on the 1 hour, the daily. And I'm just going to delete this for now and kind of put us right where we're at. So, most likely scenario is the 1 hour just makes another bear flag. You know, I just feel like we'll make another descending triangle and continue lower. Just keep going down. This is the most likely scenario today. You know, we come up, we go sideways, the 21 comes into play, and we get another dump. Bear flag to the downside, and we continue down to that 65.2, and then we complete the liquidity on BOOKMAP. All right. Let's take a look here what's happening on CoinMarketCap. Let's take a look at the fear and greed. You think it would have been adjusted way lower after a dump today. Only 23 to 29. It's so weird. I feel it's at 10 or 11, but Hey, they got their own metrics. Let them figure it out, right? It is what it is. So yeah, you either V-shape recovery, the smaller time frames. You know, you ape in. This might make a right shoulder here. It might be a slanted inverted. You know what I mean? They're not perfect. What you're looking for now is some type of flag, some type of right shoulder that saves this day and gets it. If it starts to roll over, I mean, that's right. And you can V-shape back to the 200. This is the same story now every day. Price action does this on every single asset in the world. It doesn't matter the asset. This is how it works. 21-day moving average, bullish divergence, low stochastics, bouncing off the key areas. So you're always looking for low stochastics when you get into a long. You're looking for bull div. You're looking for wicks. You're looking for green candles next to a red one. You're looking for low RSI. Look how low that RSI is. On the 1 minute, the RSI hasn't been that low since June 2nd. And then right there, funny, since yesterday, you know, funny. But I'm just showing you, it's an extreme low to be had, right? Like, it's like once every day we get this extreme low. And see how I got a projection on this flag. I got a projection. I'm seeing what is it going to, which I give it two pathways. It's called quantum projection theory. Give it two pathways and say, hey, fill in the pathway. Tell me which way you're going. Show me what's going to happen here. You know what I mean? Let me see. We could still bounce out of this. We might just dump right back inside, right? Bitcoin's looking bearish. Like no help for Bitcoin. And if your net worth is in Bitcoin, you're taking a hit again. A big one, right? Five-minute may just continue to dump us. We may not even get the continuation on the 15. See, I didn't ape that 15. I waited. Patience is key, everybody. Patience is key. You'll make the money if you stay disciplined and you keep showing up. Most people in every industry that show up every day, put in the work and put in the discipline, they get paid. So you're going to find a way to get paid if you show up every single day and you dedicate yourself to an industry. I dedicated myself to trading into crypto. So trading in crypto takes care of me. You know what I mean? There's all sorts of ways to make money once you're one of the biggest people in that industry. Like, how do you become one of the biggest people in an industry? Show up more than everybody else. Grind harder than everybody else. Fly to every single event. You know what I mean? Show up. Put your best foot forward. No offense. My foot was killing me. I still went to Vegas. I still went to Miami. I still showed face. I still traveled the world. I wanted to stay home. I wanted to sit there and not move, but I had to get out there. You know what I mean? You can, you will, you're all the best. Shout out to all my beautiful traders out here. God bless you all for jumping on into the live. I appreciate you for being here. If you're just jumping on in, we're watching to see if this 5 minute will continue further to the downside. I gave a short in the Discord this morning and last night. Both are paying heavily. So shout out to anyone that took gains. I took some gains last night. You don't have to trade. You can trade this morning. You can trade last night. Trade whatever makes you happy. I just give you so many different options to get paid. It's up to you. All right? But I'm going to give you options. You're going to have options for $99 a month. You're finally going to have options. Now, I didn't trade it. You know what I mean? I don't trade options just yet. But you're going to have options. You're going to be like, okay, what's the hottest coin right now? What is he looking at? We see things before they happen because we get the setups. I can see the NASDAQ about to break out of a rising wedge. I mean, the 21's still kicking. The stochastics are recurving up. Right? This is on the 4-hour time frame with lack of bearish momentum. I mean, this thing wants to rip. The indicators are telling me there's a high likelihood of a move to the upside. So that's why you don't trade emotions. When you start trading indicators, you don't trade emotions. It's amazing. Not trading emotions is absolutely amazing. You know what I mean? Because your emotions aren't going to get you that far when it comes to trading. They're going to wreck you. They're going to actually misconstrue the information. You're going to run in flight. In flight, you know, oh my God, you're going to be in fear. And that can anyone run a business like that? No way. Can't run a business like that. Being in fear, running around, freaking out. No. You got to maintain. You got to stay calm. Possible cup and handle here. This is a sloppy inverted. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. I've seen this play out as an inverted head and shoulder before. Many times. Not just once, not just twice, hundreds of times. You know, I can see insight that is harder for the average person to see. And I can believe in it. The key is to believe in what you see. See, anyone could do TA. Do you believe in your technical analysis? Like, anyone could draw this line. Anyone can draw the cup and handle. But do you believe that it's going to happen more than it's not? Do you have so much faith in it that you're willing to put your money down? That's when you change as a trader. First, you get the TA down. Then you understand your risk and who you are, like what you're able to handle. And then you go from there. Then you go hard. All right, if it works out, hey, man, you turn yourself into a beautiful trader. You put 2 and 2 together. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. I could still see things break out. It makes me want to bounce back into this possible V-shaped recovery on the 15-minute. We got a candle close, so that's confirmation. It does have wicks on either side, has a pretty big wick there, but that's a confirmation that you closed at tweezer bottom. Technically, I should be able to long this 15-minute flag now. Something like this. And long that puppy right back to the upside. 69,480. And again, you're in the money already if you got in at the low there, but stop loss. And again, see how I'm waiting? Like, I set up the trade, but I don't get in. I'm letting my subconscious mind take in information. My subconscious mind has seen more of the charts than my conscious mind. You understand? And how do you develop a subconscious mind? Well, you do something so much that you don't know you're doing it anymore. See? You just do it to the point of no return. Like, I show up and I go live. That's a fact. I'm going to do it thousands of days straight. I've done it for 5 years straight. I'm going to continue to do so. So I don't have to think. Like, I don't have to think when I do TA. My brain just does it. I just press play and let it go. You see what I'm saying? I'm not in really conscious control right now of the stream. I'm just playing a replayed program that's inside my brain. I've been doing this for so long. When the stream ends, I come back into myself and I'm like, what just happened? Who was I? Where was that radio voice? Like, what's going on? It's all a channel. I'm channeling a complete personality and informational space. Okay? Why the radio voice? Because we've been listening to radio our whole lives. We've been listening to, football our whole lives. For me. And it puts me in comfort when I hear a radio voice. I like it. I personally, it gives me comfort when I hear my voice doing this. So I like this idea because it brings me into where I used to be. Why do I wear the suit? Because I used to see a guy wear a suit. I used to watch finance guys. They used to make pay, you know what I mean? So far, this could be a nice V-shaped recovery. I'm missing it by hesitating. You can see how it's kind of a sloppy inverted. I would see this thing make the jump back to the 200. There's a gap in the VRVP that could help us out here. Why don't I don't pull the trigger? I don't know. My subconscious mind just had me wait. Remember, we could very well just be making a bear flag here that goes lower. We're not guaranteed the V shape just yet. We are getting the beginnings of what could be. We did get the first candle to close. We got the second green candle. Are we getting anything on the 30-minute? You want to kind of pressure that 30-minute. 30 minutes getting the green candle. Not a lot of wick to the downside. I'd like a bigger wick, though. Let's take a look at the 1 hour. Is it starting to possibly turn green? Not even close yet. At 11 o'clock, we're going to be able to make that decision, right? How do I know that? Right click. Hit your labels. Go to countdown to bar close. No one, every single bar closes. This closes in 11 minutes and 37 seconds, and you know your time. You close in the hour on the hour time frame. The 1 at 11, 12, 10, right? Who here, let's talk to the chat for a second. Let's talk to the chat. Who here understands TA really well? You're actually really smart. You have a high IQ. Everything makes sense, but you still struggle as a trader. You don't seem to be always in control. You know what I mean? Is anybody that person? Super intelligent. You understand TA really well. you still can't make any money trading, right? Close my short and went long. Let's go, bulls. Okay. My Asia session will be interesting. Yep. No matter what your ability is, effort is what ignites that ability and turns it into accomplishment. Yeah. This guy says these are cocaine. What? I've never, I don't do that. Yeah. I would have a heart attack. I have ADHD, man, and hyperactive disorder. To even say I do that drug is really weird to me. I got 3 daughters, man. Even in college, I stayed away from that my whole life. My dad made me promise when I was a kid to never touch the C and the H, man, and I didn't, you know. There may have been one drunken night that I kind of half remember. It was once in my entire life, man. Yeah, I don't do that stuff. I get really offended when someone even thinks that I would do that. It's kind of weird. Anyway. Overall, TA killed me. Overed TA. What does that mean? Overed TA. Yeah. Definitely getting better every day. Yep, that's me, bro. No doubly. Exactly. Also in the golden pocket as opposed to manual. Bill gifted you 120 subscriptions earlier, Sammy. Dude, Bitcoin Bill with 20 gifted memberships. Shout out to anyone that did, you know, thank you so much. If you jumped on in and became a member, I appreciate that. And shout out to Bill for $100 super chat. Let's go lifers. Bill, thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. You know what I mean? You just describe you with everything, not just trading. You're funny. Greed hits and sometimes make a bigger perm after a great win. Not you, lifer. Chat ramblings. Thank you. Yeah, he probably was being nice. I don't know. I don't know what people are saying. You know what I mean? All I can read is the chat. If they don't say it's about me, I don't know. I assume it's about me. I'm the one here. Yeah, why is everyone busted? People are always busting my chops, man. You don't understand. I go through it all the time. Every single day. Hey, there's 1,000 people here. People are going to bust you out. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So I don't have the guts to long this right now. I just, you know what I mean? Maybe I wait for the 1 hour to close the candle. Chance the 1 hour does the recovery, and that was a nasty dump. I mean, that's crazy. You have like 30 candles, and like only 3 of them were green, or 5 of them were green or something. Crazy. Selling pineapple Kool-Aid is more profitable than buying Bitcoin. That's crazy. Put buy orders at 45 and sell them at 180 in 2029. You are a good person. See what he just said? As simple as it sounds, but that is what it is. Damn, so I had this long so far is playing out. Work hard and be kind and amazing things will happen, yeah. Hey, lifer, want to produce a movie? I'd like to. Send us an email. I was making movies for years, man. If I like it and it makes sense, let's do business. Not me, pure respect. God bless TP Down 1. We love you, man. No worries. No stress. Shout out to the 1,033 beautiful souls here on the live. One of the biggest live streams ever in the history of crypto streaming. We stream through the bear market with some of the biggest numbers of any channel in the game. Man. Why do you only if transparency is the goal, shouldn't there be losing trades be showed too? I show losing trades all the time. I lost a trade for $1,000 2 nights ago. Yeah. You've been tuning in when I've been winning more than losing, so I don't know. You know what I mean? Sam, I'm watching you at 2024. Your TA work, but I'm still paper trading. Hard to commit. I don't make much money. Hard to lose. Interesting. So you still aren't ready to take that leap. You got to take a leap at one point, man. Scared money don't make no money. I've lost $1 million twice in my life, right? Most people would never make that much to lose it. I'll tell you, man, the richest people in the world are people that have lost more than the biggest losers. They're the biggest losers. You know? Hey, Sam, since CME is no more, does that change how you traded specifically over the weekends? No, not much. It's just we don't have to worry about gaps anymore. So there's likely not going to be a reversal gap down. It changes how we trade on Monday and Tuesday. Not really the weekends, because the weekends do whatever they want anyway. It was about missing the gap on the weekends and coming back to the gap on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or throughout the week. You know? Thank you, God, for everything in my life, the good and the bad. Some were blessings, some were lessons. With God, what's possible will always be infinitely greater than what we believe to be probable. 100%. You know? Yeah. Shout out to all the beautiful people here. Yeah. Multiple ways you could choose to earn funds. I love that. You just that's from Nas, bro. That's a Nas line, man. That's from Illmatic. Is it multiple way you turn to earn funds? I only lost a couple $100 grand. I need to step up my game. You're funny. Facts. I'm watching you and I see you winning. Just have to commit. Losing is always a teacher. Yeah. This guy says, you have great calls, and I follow you to the T and still lose money. I mean, that's nothing I can do about it, man. If you're not ready to change your mind and go for it, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. Oh, I know that song. No, Mobb Deep. Yeah, that's Mobb Deep. Yeah. It's Mobb Deep. I was like, I heard that song so many. I was like, I heard that line so many times. Losing, bring the ability of winning as we are conscious. Yeah. Shook ones. Exactly. Yeah. So many ones. Yeah. Saying you all show your loss all the time is such an outright lie. Perito. Whatever you want. Okay, so I show you all my losses. What does that do for you, man? Let's just say, hey, say I put up 5 beautiful trades. My dad dies. I get erratic. I panic. I'm messed up in the head. I trade horribly for 2 weeks and I lose so much money. Like, what does that do for you? Like, what if the trade still played out, but I emotionally ruined the trades? It doesn't even make any sense. You know what I mean? Like, do you want to know how much millions I have in the bank? Like, do you want to see everything? Like, you know what I mean? Do you want to know how much I won last year? Do you want to know how much my net worth went up in the year of 2019? No, you don't. If I showed it to you, it wouldn't be cool. It's weird, man. People want everything, but they don't want everything. You know what I mean? And it's not even, you know, I don't even think I have to show you everything. Like, you know what I mean? So what I want to show you is I've been doing this for 20 years. My mind has back-tested hundreds and hundreds of charts, and what I teach you is real. You can back-test what I teach you and find out if it's real. Just like Crypto Lifer protects his trades, Deep Rails protects your customers from costly AI mistakes. Our guardrail API detects and fixes AI mistakes. Interesting. Deep Rails AI? Just double up, bet Yankees tonight. You're funny. Right? How old when you started? I started buying stocks at 21, 23 years old. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know what I mean? I've been buying and selling stocks for a long, long time. I've had ruts. Even the last few weeks, I've had ruts where I don't hit every single trade. It seems like a lot of my scalps aren't hitting. I go through ups and downs all the time. Yeah. I aped along on Sunday night. I explained that to everyone. I lost 989. Like, the professional haters are the same ones reporting comments on FB. Ignore low-frequency haters. Love is the key. Amen. God bless you, brother. Yeah. How much do we need to start day trading with somewhat minimal risk? I use $1,000 to $2,000. You know what I mean? You can keep more in the account in case you need it. But most of my positions are between, if I'm really, really think it's going to be a big trade, fine. I might use 10, 15 grand. But I switched my model. The buck bought the bottle, could have struck. Exactly. I switched the model. The buck that bought the lotto could have struck the lotto. Amen, man. Exactly. I appreciate the honesty. It speaks humility. 100%. And when I go on a tear, I show you guys that I've been on it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? What happened to the Nightbot? We got rid of the... Oh, no, the Nightbot's in there. Yeah. And I've showed multiple P&Ls where I've gone 10 trades out of 12. I've lost 2 trades out of 9. My lifers have seen me pull off 80% win rates, maybe 50, 60 times in the last year and a half or something like that. So, all right. I showed both trades that played out last night and this morning. Like, I don't know what else I want. It's so crazy, man. I see a bear flag, although 1 minute time frame. Yeah, I'm not aping in right now. I see what you're saying. It is looking bear flag-esque, man. The time frames will tell you what they're going to do. The measured move is the length of the previous pull. See a little consolidation. That's where we started to drop, where the straight line hits. That looks so ugly right now. And so you could switch to a long and a short so fast. You got to be able to do that. Like, you got to be like, well, are we going to bounce? Are we recovering? We getting, Where's it going, Sammy? 48K-ish. I mean, I keep seeing that. I'll be honest, definitely to the weekly 200 moving average. Then we'll talk about it after that. But it looks like we're revisiting 65,000, you know. I definitely seen some amazing Sam calls. I can't believe that AWR call forever ago. I passed 6-bit funded accounts back to back and lost them all just as fast. That's crazy, man. No, Sailor did sell, but he sold 2.5 million, 32 Bitcoins just to pay dividends. It wasn't a big deal. You know what I mean? Similar pattern to 6 hours ago. Yeah, exactly. Why do you repeat your comments over and over again, Yandri? Like, one time, dude. One time. Otherwise, you're going to be a spammer and people are going to delete you, and you don't want it to get deleted. You know what I mean? He said, you don't have any Nightbot commands. What does that mean? Right? Do you know how to create a Nightbot command? Join the team. Shout out to Legendary God King in the house. He goes, I can compete with honesty. Using the skills I learned in the 99, it's paid for itself for probably longer than I'll live. Really? See? Look at that. So, over the last 2 months, I went from 200 to 700 with my account. I have broken rules and now basically back where I started. The emotion side of this man, wild. It's my downfall. I believe I will beat it. Oh, it'll always pull you back in. You don't have to do anything. Price action makes you feel like you have to do something. Whenever you're sitting in your car, hanging out with your family, and you're like, oh my God, I have to get into this trade right now. No, you do not. That's an impulse. You got to get rid of impulsing. The problem is not the 32 Bitcoin, it's the narrative. I mean, the narrative is not a big deal. He even sold Bitcoin recently, bought Bitcoin back. It's like, sold it at 77, bought it back at 72. You know what I mean? Acquired more Bitcoin. Like, trade on WEEX, my number one exchange. Support WEEX, register. Yeah, thank you. The AI trader's still running. Just wondering how it's done. The mod in here are Karens that evidently lost money today. Oh my God. Most of my mod, I don't know, maybe not. I don't think so. Yeah. Legendary God King, I probably didn't lose money today. He just got up, man. It's like 8 a.m. Good morning. Could you check XLM, ICP, Auto, and H-bar? Yes, I will. Yeah. Look at that's an M pattern on the 1 minute time frame. That's an M. Kind of want to say like another descending, you see? Another what I've noticed is, I remember doing this recently when Bitcoin was dumping, I just kept making descending triangle after descending triangle. Until eventually it made it, you know, an inverted head and shoulders, some type of double bottom. To me, that says it's going lower. Says it's going down to 66,787, right? Take profit would be 66,787. Stop loss would be at what, 68,329? Amon Sailor sold not the story he sold after he said he would never sell. I think people are strange, to be honest. They will repeat a narrative more than the news, more than the actual, what the narrative means. The guy's bought more Bitcoin than anyone. Lizzie, what if I literally, it's like you tell your wife you love her 5 times a day, and then one day you just forget to tell her in the morning. And then all he remembers you didn't tell her you loved her. Very similar to Sailor buying Bitcoin. Like, he buys more Bitcoin than anybody on earth. Then he sells a tiny bit and people freak out. It doesn't make any sense. Let's get logical. Narratives are narratives. And you say, oh, but other people listen to that, and that's what creates this, you know. If you want to panic and go crazy with a little bit of information and turn it into a lot of information that you don't even know is true or not, you know what I mean? Like, you don't, it's like, it's just insane to me. It's insane. Like, things that don't make sense, people put more weight on. The actual truth, people don't pay attention to. It's all smoke and mirrors out here recently, you know? When I'm eager to get into trade, 90% I'll lose, especially when my limit entry doesn't get hit. I get angry and change it just to get in. Yeah, you're like, oh, they didn't hit me. Now I have to get it. Yeah. I know exactly how you feel. Exactly. People are sheep, man. 100%. They just need, folks need to realize billions are going to tell you whatever you want to hear for them to get what they want. I disagree, man. The guy actually truly believes in Bitcoin. Everyone always thinks there's this facetious grind. No one trusts anything anymore. Like, everyone's convinced I'm a market maker. That's another joke. Like, Sam's the market maker. You know what I mean? It's like he's connected to the exchanges. Sam's actually owns all the exchanges. You know what I mean? The guy makes $50,000 a day. Like, it's just crazy, bro. I can honestly swear to everybody here, I own no exchange. Okay? I'm not I may be partnered with some of them. Like, you know what I mean? We have some cool hookups and some cool incentives. That's it. I'm just a trader that literally worked hard every single day and got where I'm at. You know what I mean? People get pissed at me, like, because I make money off the industry in many different ways. That's my fault that I got that big. You know what I mean? I didn't know that was going to happen to me. I threw my hat in the ring like everybody else did. I had no clue what was going to happen to me. I could still be sitting at a 25,000 subscriber channel like a lot of these other people I was on ATB with years ago. And again, there's people with way bigger channels than me that grew bigger than me, and I barely grew. So, like, all I know is God helped me in some crazy way get here where I'm at with you today. You know what I mean? And I tried my hardest, and I planned it out the best I could, but we all know that life doesn't always go as planned. Agreed? So, attempting to kind of triple bottom here for Bitcoin, trying to stop this pain now. I didn't get into the short, as you can see. I waited. I can't believe I'm longing while Sam is shorting. I didn't short. I didn't get into a trade. You're fine, dude. I'm speculating right now. I haven't found my place yet. You know what I mean? My thing is this. I keep buying more Bitcoin. That's it. I keep buying more Bitcoin. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Regards from Germany. You're always in good suits. God bless you, man. Shout out to my buddy. Thank you. Shout out to Cherry City Bullies in the house. Been around a long time. Holding me down. Sammy, one of the only crypto guys still around daily, showing up for people, putting some respect on his name. God bless you, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. I've been here through the downs, through the toughest times, through the hardest times, through the biggest times, through the 100Ks. I was here from 69,000 all the way back to 15K. What a crash that was for my channel. I survived, man. People hated on me when we went from 69 all the way back to 15,000. It wasn't easy. There was so much FUD, and people left the trading group and bounced on me and said, oh, this sucks. And it was negative, and I stayed positive through it all. And I fought through it all, and I built my business through it all, and I never gave up, man. I never gave up. And I'm still here. And I'm going to be here 10 years from now. And I know I may not be the greatest trader on earth, and I know there's better traders than me, and I know there's smarter people than me, and I know the people have better stuff than I do, and I'm not the best. But I do my best, man, every single day. For what my mom and dad gave me, I put my best foot forward, and there's nothing else I can do. Sam, could you ask the lifers how many people will think you make good decisions in your training, but we still struggle to make money? You know what I mean? How many trades would you say on average you take on a trading day or weekly? It depends. When the market's hot, 2 or 3 scalps a day, depending. You know what I mean? Usually on a week, it's between 7 and 15 trades. You know what I mean? Sam, the last time Bitcoin went to 58K, you were cool and calm and made great calls. Thank you. Now, I was broke when I met Sammy, and honestly, we hit it off. He's so incredibly smart and well-versed in more than just the markets. Thank you, man. That's very nice of you to say. We did hit it off. You're a good dude. You know why? You showed up when you were supposed to. You dealt with me being a little late with my foot and all the stuff I was going through. And you stayed right there near the sign. I didn't have to hunt after you. Of all the people I've met in a long time, you're one of the most reliable people I've met in a long time, dude. I'm being honest. And I've gone through so many people. They said they were going to meet me there. They didn't show up. I had to email them, text them. You know what I mean? Bro, you are the market maker. You know what I mean? What do you think about the DCT partnership with XLM? I think it's big. I always think XLM was going to be big. I've never sold my XLM for some reason. I just always had a vibe on it. I mean, this is starting to be more descending, isn't it? It's attempting kind of a double bottom here. Messy price action as we wait. Patience is so important in trading. Waiting for the right entry. Rethinking it. You know? Look, I still haven't made, you know, a little bit of a short there, but like, that looks like it's shoulder, head, right shoulder now. Pressing on the 21, below the 200. Then I also see a possible double bottom. It's like life, man. Life can go any way at any moment. In any moment, life can go any way. You could wake up today and decide, I'm going to be in a bad mood. Today's going to go down. And you know what? You're going to be in control that day. And you know what? You're likely going to be nasty that day. To people around you, to, you know what I mean? There's a good chance you're not going to be the nicest guy if you wake up saying, I'm going to be nasty today. This world sucks. You know what I mean? I don't like the president. I don't like what's going on. You know what I mean? It's like, we can get nasty about life, or we can say, you know what? Today's a blessing. I'm alive. You know what it is anyone that's been through anything in life doesn't have the ability to be upset. You know? Like my mom passed away, man. That was... I like this short here. It looks like it's going down. I'm going to take the short. We'll see what happens. Look, you're going to see me win or lose live right now. Okay? They could easily reverse this thing and pump it, but I see shoulder, head, right shoulder, descending triangle. Looks like they're about to send this puppy lower. All right? Let's see. I could easily lose. There's no guarantees I'm going to win or lose right now. There's probabilities. So look at me. I'm a human being that's live in front of thousands of people. Like over maybe 5,000 to 7,000 will watch this today. 1,000 people are here right now. And I'm taking a shot with my money to see what can happen. I know if I get stopped out, some of you are going to lose faith in me and are going to think I'm a clown. I know if I make money, some of you can think I'm really smart. It's just one trade in my data set. It doesn't mean it's everything to me. It's just one trade, you know? And that's how you have to be about it. Like, look at me and you have to live through that idea. It's just one trade, man. You know what I mean? Jason says, crap, I'm long and afraid. Stop messing around, man. You're such a, like, you play so many games, bro. You're not afraid. You're not sweating it. You have a long and a short. You have so much cross money that you can't get liquidated. You know exactly what you're doing, man. I'm not going to play that game with you, Jason. You know exactly what you're doing. You have it covered, bro. You know your ranges. You create seed. I know exactly. I think I know what Jason does, but, you know, he knows the ranges very well. He keeps enough cross money in there so he can't get liquidated. I don't like to trade cross, so I'm like, I don't have the balls, man. I'm not as crazy. I will eventually. You know what I mean? I'm really long though, going for it. Really? You're trying to catch the bottom? You're trying to catch this falling knife right here? You know what I mean? My thing is this, I'll scalp this. If it doesn't go well, I'll go back to the 1 hour. If the 1 hour closes at tweezer bottom, I'll long it. You see what I mean? And I'll only lose 300 and hopefully gap back up. I do feel like we're extended. Maybe one more drop. You know what I mean? Short from 81K and take profits many times. I re-short with more power then. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. I'm trying to catch up, bro. I'm not very confident at the moment. You're always confident, man. What are you talking about? I met you, man. I know you. I'm confident in you. You're amazing. You're amazing, bro. You know, I always say to myself, what if I wasn't here tomorrow? Right? How would I want to be remembered? I want to be remembered as a great person that was nice and respectful to everybody. Never hated. You know, no negativity. Right? Man, one of the nicest people I ever met. You know. God bless your kids, and God bless your, you know, the extra button coming. Stop flirting. Man love on the channel. There's man love on the channel. Trend is bearish. Get a room. Get a room. You guys are stupid, man. Short on rebounds. All right. Much love to you, brother Sam and Jason. Thank you. Where's the target? I don't know, man. We might be double bottoming here. You see what I'm saying? The target to me is about 66,000. BOOKMAP says we go lower. And BOOKMAP has the 66. It's all liquidity down there. I'm just taking the liquidity that's down there. I'm not trying to be a hero here. Just trying to do what I'm supposed to do. All right. What song is that playing right now? It's called... What the heck is this song? It's called Dream Away by Some Wave featuring Elwin. That one always gets me going because I did a little documentary about going home to my mom and dad. And I used that song, and I always remember my mom and dad, man. You know, I'm a broken man. I just want to let everybody know. I'm extremely broken. And my mom and dad died 3 years ago. And I moved back to Massachusetts for 2 months every year. And I walk the roads I walked with my mom. And I see the places my dad took me as a kid. And I'll be honest, it rips my heart out. It rips my heart out. It rips my heart out. But I know no one wants to hear that. We got to focus on the charts right now. But man, I'm not going to go there, man. I'm not going to go there. But when I moved back home, like I went into my house that I grew up in 2 days ago I had to get something that I had left there for my stream. A couple lights and some mic stands. And there I see, like, you know, where my mom first made me breakfast. You know, where my, all the things that I did in my life, all my firsts, you know, all these little things. And this is sketchy. I'm going to be moving that stop loss to break even as soon as I can. And just trying to take a scalp. Look, someone said they want to make $300 a day. Look, I'm using $3,000. I'm up 180, right? And then I could take this scalp. And I could do that 4 times a day, maybe even 10 if I got lucky. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, the older you get, the more you realize life is short, man, and we are just passing through. What you just said is so true, man. It's so true. I'm trading the 5-minute time frame right now. I mean, it kind of looks like a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder there, too. I bet the 3-minute will show a head and shoulder. Live trading here on WEEX. Yeah, there's a head and shoulder right there. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. And there we are in the money now on the trade. We can move that stop loss to break even. Now we can't lose. Up $300. And someone said, how do I make $300 live a day, right? That's another thing. I show people how to make the money every day live, like constantly. So look, I could make $300 right now. Oh, come on. I want to take 300. I desire 300. Don't bounce on me. Fill that wick and dump. Dang. It's a big candle. Compared to most, like it's pretty big, right? Damn, now they're bouncing it back. And you can't get emotional. You just have to kind of let your trade sit. Look, I'm in my stop loss is in profit now. The key is to take as many shots as you can here. Pay for the fees and get some profit. And then the big ones, let them run. That's what I do. You know, whether it's corny or not, that's just what I do. Send it down, send it. I want my 300. I like that. Wick up first, come down, repeat, wick up a little bit more, and then send it down on the wick. You want a green start. You don't want a dump because a dump is a green candle. That's perfect. Now turn that red, send it lower. There you go. Let's get to that 300. I'd like to take 300 today, please. I'd like my 300, please. I just said I'd like my 300, please. Dang, now they're coming for me. I might only get 2. Don't be greedy. Be happy that you made it. Look, they're coming for me now. I might get 180, like. And I'm trading pretty risk. There's a whole Bitcoin in this trade. It's a little over. It's about a $70,000 trade, right? Look, and there you go. You get stopped out. Now, this could easily turn back, and I probably should have just stayed right there. But this is scalping in a sketchy market, man. We're still looking for that possible reversal. You see what I mean? Still looking for this possibly to turn into an inverted head and shoulder. Okay? Yeah, WEEX is a base company, no VPN needed, yep. Love Within by Tina Turner. Listen to it while meditating. Makes me think of my mom. You'll love it. Thank you, man. Sammy, lost my dad over 20 years ago. I was 22. Most days are just fun. But just a month ago, I went to a family property that I have so many first memories of him. And it hits real hard. Going to the properties, man, physically being in the space is really tough. It's really tough. It's tough, you know. And, you know, fighting through all this and making it happen has never been easy. It's never been easy, man. You know, shout out to the 1,142 beautiful souls here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here as we get through this sketchy day. Again, now can we be in shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder? Possible inverted head and shoulder here. I'm looking for the 15-minute to create that tweezer bottom. See, good thing I didn't ape that 15. It was a false bottom. You see that? Actually looks like my trade will probably continue on that 5-minute. Yeah, I should have just stayed in it. And there she goes. Would have made my 1,000 possibly. I'm not perfect. I have some weaknesses to my trading. I tend to sell early. Okay. And I didn't start leverage trading till about 3.5 years ago. That's another thing. I haven't been leverage trading 10 years. Like, I still consider myself a newbie when it comes to lev trading. You know, and I'm still learning every day. You guys are watching me learn my way, find my way. I never try to. This show is literally just someone trying to find their way. I'm not trying to be an expert or a big shot. I'm just being me. You know what I mean? Yeah, God bless you, man. Appreciate you, bro. It's always good to have you around, man. I appreciate your time that we spent together. We could have run the world. I know it. You would have listened to me, and I would have propelled us, and then you would have had great ideas too, and I would have listened to you. I definitely think we had a good connection. Yeah, on that trade now. Thanks. Sam, round trip fees on that one Bitcoin size trade is roughly... No, definitely not. No, that's not... No. Might have been... Let's take a look. He said, I made 2K from your signals today. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I may not have made that much money on it, to be honest. Right? Let me see, to be exact. Order details, right? No, you're completely wrong. You know what I mean? The fees were $70, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. Fees were $70. 36 both ways. So, yeah, $70. I don't know where you got 160. You bugging. You know what I mean? I showed them to you right here. 36.65, 36.74. Open and close. You know? Yeah, I made $100. You know, definitely not what you said, though. So why do people say things that aren't true? You know what I mean? Like why do you say that? Why did you say the fees are you know what I mean? Why did you say I made less than $30? I mean, you did ask. I have to be honest. You did put a question mark. Okay. I thought you were kind of like slamming me. Just not the case, though. You know what I mean? It wasn't the case. So it is what it is. It just wasn't what happened. All right. All right. Let's take a look where we are at now. Kind of got me off of what I was doing there. All right. Back to my WEEX trading there. So still bearish. Kind of like very close to the sell. right? I got it off on that wick as it wicked back up. Still bearish though, for sure, right? Some of those internet folks get intimidated of a smart man who makes money. Oh, 100%. Yeah. Sam, lost my dad this month. Hardest thing I've ever had to do. But your stream keeps me sane. Thank you. God bless you, man. That means a lot to me, bro. That means a lot to me, because if I could persevere, so can you, right? And it makes me realize that I'm here for a bigger purpose than just making money. If it's just money, then, like, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. My purpose is to help you guys make money, like, you know, or to give you education. That's the key. But I think my true purpose is to use my life experiences to help others, man, in any way I can. And to me, that's really what it's all about. NASDAQ wants to just completely explode. So there's a trade, right? You enter a trade right there with a stop below the white line and let that puppy plow. You know what I mean? Let's take a look at what altcoins are kind of popping right now and see what's happening in the last hour, because funny, Polygon doesn't seem to care. You'd think Polygon would have went bigger with Polymarket. I find that a bit odd. And again, stable coins all kind of huddled up. And see what coins are barely losing. You know, look at like Siren's up 21%. Midnight's up 14%. Midnight had some good news. Look at my coin, Binance Life, man. It doesn't care. Holding 62, like, this thing just keeps gaining. So Binance Life has entered a minor consolidation phase after a massive vertical expansion to print fresh macro highs. The price pumped hard out of its previous base, but is currently seeing some early profit taking near the peak. Buyers are trying to absorb this distribution to secure a stable footing at these higher levels. It really is, though. Cleared the 50-cent resistance level and is rising towards the 83. Anyway, I'm in this coin. I like the consolidation, and I like the TA. The TA looked good to me. So I took it. I got in at 37 cents. It's still doing its thing, right? My target is sitting there at 67,000. Looks like we're going to melt down to it. Come on, baby. Come on, Bitcoin. I mean, shoulder, head, right shoulder. We hit the target, too. How do you get the target of the head and shoulder? You do this length here, and there you go. Hey, saying, can you share your bookmap settings? Just got it and trying to set it up. It looks a little off. Yeah, it's very not a big deal. What you're going to do is first you have to go to, first you have to configure your connections. You have to go to configure. And then you want to add a connection. So you go here, add or remove platforms, right? You're going to add, oh yeah. Interesting. You can install all this if you need it. I do bookmap data, which conglomerates it all. Where's the liquidation, though? Python AP. You can do so much here. Multi-brackets, liquidity market, liquidation. Oh, no, I don't want to remove it. See, what's interesting is I can't see my liquidations the last couple days. It happens sometimes. Not a big deal, but anyway. So you hit add connection. I have bookmap data already. You've got to add bookmap data here. So you got to add the platform. You see? Then you add the connection. See, add bookmap data, hit add. So hit add connection, pick bookmap data, hit add. I've already done it. I'm going to keep doing it. You see? So now you got bookmap data added. Perfect, right? Now you hit the plus sign. And then here on the platform, you pick bookmap data, multi-book, symbol, Bitcoin, USDT. You want to be on the perp, not on spot. You want to make sure you're on perp, which I think it comes there. Yeah, but there you go, perp. All right, perpetual. And then you can add historical data, tick size. Now, the single granularity and the tick size, that's up to you. You can make the tick size 100. You can make it 10. You can make it real small. It's going to do a lot to keep up with that, though. Like, right now, look, if I zoom in. Oh, I didn't add the new configuration. But see, now I'm at 50, see? My tick size is 50. I like it because I can zoom. I don't want it too small. This says you're going down to 66, 65.5. All right. I can only imagine the bull market pumps with how these dumps are going. Yeah. Just sold for 100, so 400 this morning, all while sitting next to my wife or enjoying the Crypto Lifer Show. What a life. See? So he made more money than I did already. You know what I mean? Sometimes my head's not all the way there. Sometimes I'm not fully focused. Sometimes I'm struggling myself, folks. You know what I mean? Sometimes one of my kids was sick the night before and my mind's frazzled. Like, there's days where your actual behavior, who you are affects your trades. I could have the perfect setups for you every day, and sometimes I don't hit it right. Sometimes I don't call I don't. Sometimes my students trade my setups better than me. Sometimes I trade my setups better than my students. You know, one guy was like, "Damn, I gave you the trade. You made more money than I did. I didn't, or I saw the same trade as you, but you managed it better. I lost money. You made money." You know. Just looks like we're going lower. And what I attempt to do is be correct every day on the show. Like if I tell you we're going lower, I want to see us go lower. You know what's great about today's show is we're actually moving. Remember the last few, I've almost say like 80% of the shows in the last 3 weeks, we went sideways during my stream, which was kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah, I should have stayed. I definitely should have stayed in that short. They just liquidate so much that I'm a bit sketched out by price action reasons. I am. I don't trust it. When should we buy spot Bitcoin if I never bought Bitcoin? I mean, I won't tell you what to do with your money. I believe, for me, Bitcoin is something you DCA into right off the bat. Like, you got to buy some so you know what it's like to hold. So today, you buy, for me, I buy a little. If I never bought Bitcoin today, I'd buy a little bit. I don't know, and I can't tell you what to do. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know how much money you have, how much access you have, right? U.S. market is plumbing. Why is crypto dumping? When will it go up? It is not. They're not correlated. Bitcoin's in its own downtrend. You know what I mean? People are taking money out of Bitcoin and selling it for AI stocks. There's only so much liquidity, and Bitcoin took a lot. They held that liquidity in there. Now people are, and a lot of people speculated in they're emotional, man. You know what I mean? They're selling their ETFs, their Bitcoin ETFs right now, so they can buy AI stocks at the top too. At the top, mind you. It's not a good time. You should have been selling Bitcoin at 120 and buying AI stocks. Right now, you should be selling AI stocks for Bitcoin. You know what I mean? You should be doing the opposite of what looks right at the time. Like, it is like, this takes years to figure out. Once you get it, it's so obvious. You're like, oh yeah. I never realized all I had to do was stay patient. Like when Bitcoin goes lower and lower and the fear gets higher, I buy more Bitcoin. It's very simple. When it doesn't look good, I buy more. The worst time to buy Bitcoin is always never. I know, right? Look up a reverse martingale strategy to invest into Bitcoin. Interesting. Yeah. Paying the trader is one of the hardest things I struggled with when I was learning. Always remember to pay the trader, and it's fine if you don't get the whole move. 100%. Today I jumped in and jumped out. You know what I mean? It wasn't about the money. It was the fact that I pulled the trigger. I was able to pull the trigger. You know what I mean? Last night I pulled the trigger. I made $1,000 in 30 minutes. You know what I mean? I made $1,000 in 30 minutes. I mean, to me, I used to go to work and make $1,800. Last night I made $1,000 in 30 minutes. It was $969. Fine. With fees, it was probably $900. But look, I gave the short right there at 9:34 p.m. It started to move at 10:05. 30 minutes later, I was up $595. And then at 10:08, which was about 35 minutes later, 34 minutes later, I'm up $969. I moved the stop loss. I took that profit. You know what I mean? My biggest losses come from opening trades on my phone while out with no stop loss. 90% of these trades ended in a way bigger loss than I intended. Tell yourself it's going to be a hard grind and there's no easy win. You know what I mean? And we also go over stocks, AI. There's some nuclear stocks that I'm looking at right now. I think nuclear energy is going to skyrocket in the next 10 years. By 2040, 2050, nuclear is going to be huge. We're going to use more nuclear because it's cheaper, it's more advanced. They scare you from nuclear energy. They want you to think it's not good. My buddy worked in a nuclear power plant. He sat me down 10 years ago and explained that there's all this fear on nuclear power. He said, man, it's some of the most beautiful power in the world, bro. He said, if we can harness it, we should use it more. And, you know what I mean? I think everyone, because of the word nuclear, and it gets everyone crazy, man. Again, people speculate on a narrative. They don't even know they don't do the math, right? From buying spot, I have a grid set up with about 6% intervals. It sells above also, but I can control it at that level. Interesting. Yeah, he put a huge position size. A huge, and he was in since last night possibly and stayed in the trade. You know what I mean? You have to remember, man, I don't even want to say it, but I'm worth maybe 7, 8. That guy might be worth freaking 10, 70. You know what I mean? So it's just like, and again, I don't know what people are worth. It's none of my business. This guy said, Martingale is a gambling strategy. You know, shout out to Zab Life in the house. God bless you, man. Funny thing about nuclear, we still use it to just boil water and spin a turbine. Funny, right? They should call it nuclear energy. Aha. Yeah, give it a different name so we can associate it with something differently. So I believe that investing in nuclear power plants, nuclear tech is big. And again, and that gets big. And then there's only so many plants in the United States that can convert uranium. I think there's only like 2. You know what I mean? So what happens to nuclear waste? They use it to sink in the ocean. No, we actually can use the waste. The guy above you just explained it to you, but you didn't want to read the comment. You know what I mean? You just wanted to write before you. Not. I get to call people out because I'm here, but you know what I mean? Well, you could have read the comment. Figured it out before you said something. You can always be rude. You can always be nice. Remember, be nice. Always be nice. Make a joke out of it. It's fun to laugh. You don't have to pin people. But dang, man, that's a head and shoulder to the downside, and there you go. So sorry about your short, Jason. I mean, you're long. I think, but we'll see. I enjoy the stream. Show your appreciation and hit that like button. And this is a live trade on WEEX today, too, as well. We love WEEX. We hold it down on WEEX. Man, what a flush. Since last night's dump. I could have just stayed in last night's dump, too. Like, last night's trade's still in the money. Lower prices will bring higher conviction type of thing. Exactly. Nuclear. Yeah, nuclear. Hospitals produce more nuclear waste than power plants, but people don't ask what's happening to that. Don't let yourself be ruled by narratives. 100%. See? People don't even know the facts. They just speak on narratives. 100% facts, you know. Illiterate Vu, how long do you think that will last? I don't know what he's saying. 35 months down, then 12 months bullish. All-time high in the last October. Last 3 cycles followed 35-12 rules. Interesting. Sell in June. You guys are funny, man. He says windmills use chemicals too. I didn't know about that, but I don't think it's good to have them out there in the ocean with the birds, and I don't know. I think it's a bit odd. Dang, man, I would have made my cake if I just stayed in. I was close if that candle just didn't wick as hard, man. It's also when you're live trading in front of people, you want to take profits. It can get to you a little. If I was like alone and no one was watching me, I'd probably let it cook because I could have lost alone. You know what I mean? I don't want to lose in front of people, so it can affect my trading because I'm, no matter what, it's very similar to double slit theory. You watch it, it's going to affect it. You're going to watch me, you're affecting me. You know what I mean? I don't care what people think, I guess, but at the same time, I do run a trading group, so. Thorium power plant, that's interesting. Yeah. Sam, can you go over link? If not, no worries. Appreciate your time. Thank you for asking. The short just continuing to hit that target at 66,800. It's going. Shout out to anyone that stayed in the short and got paid. Sell in June, watch you pump to the moon. Sam, your teaching is good. I just have no discipline and I panic. That's okay. That's why that's why you do DC. That's why you start small. The windmills are made of chems and the blades and all the concrete to make the bases for them, yeah. It's all good, Sam. It's a great learning experience. Yes and no. I would have liked to have made my $1,000, right? We might see fusion in our lifetimes, too. Interesting. Yeah. He says it'll stop at 58K. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. If you move the stop up, then that's our luck. It would hit as well and wick down. Can I trade with $30? 100%. You could trade with the smallest amount you want. I mean, you just whatever you think you need, you could trade with it. For sure. And shout out to all the awesome streamers here. I feel like some of you guys sent your people to me today. God bless you all. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It means the world to me. Look, we spotted this head and shoulder pattern on the 1 minute. We used the small... Today, what a learning experience. We taught you how to use the smaller time frames to find continuation patterns so you didn't get caught up trying to long a bigger time frame. You know, what I really taught you today, it wasn't about the trade at all. It was how to zoom into the 1 minute and not get caught up. How to not use your emotions by trading bigger time frames, because in the bigger time frames, all you're going to see is the candles, right? You're not going to see what you need. So imagine silver sells 32 Bitcoin at 7. Wow, you don't know or notice. Announce it 1 week later. Meanwhile, he has 8 that he's about to lever to buy more. And you borrow money to sell 40x Bitcoin. Exactly. What happened to Sky AI? Probably some trading group got a handle of it, or some, I don't know, someone ripped it and dipped it. Anyway, let's take a look at the bigger picture now for Bitcoin. I mean, eventually this has to end. So look, now we hit our next target. You see how this works? I mean, you just hit the POC right now on the VRVP. I mean, you may dip a little lower the value area low, but... And look, you consolidate, you go straight down. You consolidate, you go straight down. Now you got to consolidate again. You get it? Or make it a reversal pattern. This is what it does. Look how I figured out price today. We just kept doing it. Shoulder, head, right shoulder, right? Send that puppy to the upside. That could be a beautiful trade right now. You know what I mean? I look for the 1 minute to get back above the 200 moving average. Eventually, we're going to get nothing goes down forever, nothing goes up forever. That's why you have to pay to trader, because there's days where you're not going to know when it's done dumping. What you can know is when to pay yourself, right? So if you just have an idea of when I'm up a certain amount, I'm going to pay myself. I'll admit I'm learning to lose less, and that helps a lot. I just hope I can stick with it. It's always tempting to scale up when winning, but that always gets me. I agree. Do you have a strategy to overcome the need for recovering the losses? Thank you. Yeah, you basically have to have a strict idea of how many losses you'll take that day. And if you lose too many, you have to walk away. All right? This guy's spamming his trade position, but I'm not going to tell you what to buy or sell or when to do it, so you know what I mean? It's your first time in the life, or DM us on X at WEEX Official with your WEEX user ID for a chance at a customized WEEX leather Letterman jacket. Thanks to your friends at the Lifers, right? He says high time frames. We did break out restarting now. Huh? So I delete everything. I look at the 1 hour. Still haven't gotten a green candle next to a red one on the 1 hour time frame. Complete dumpage. Slanted head and shoulder. And again, head and shoulders are slanted. That's a head and shoulder right there. I know you can't see it, but it is. All right, and even this one was kind of a head and shoulder. It's so slanted, but descending triangles. Wow, look at that dump from the bear flag. And it was a bear flag. It was the 21 below the 200. Boom. And then you had the measured move right here. That's exactly where you went to the downside. 67,272. You know what I mean? And Bitcoin dominance, let's take a look at that, which is good because Bitcoin dominance should tank with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin's going to tank, then Bitcoin dominance is going to tank. Right? Look at that. It had a head and shoulder right there. It hit the top of the range. I even drew the head and shoulder for you before it even happened. We went over this on the weekly macro analysis video. I told you the tether dominance looked like it was going to kind of break out of a flag here. I said we needed to make a red shoulder reverse. Otherwise, this thing's breaking out. And look, it did break out. That's why you watch my macro analysis video every Friday. It's going to put things in a bigger perspective for you. Then you're going to be like, oh, yeah. And then every week you keep watching it, it's going to help you. Now, maybe we double top here. That's the prayer, but the odds are less likely. Bitcoin goes to 55, 58,000. People tether up. All right. Everyone, if you want TA, please send in fan funding. You got to send in a super chat. Too many people are asking for free stuff now in the chat because I was nice for a couple weeks. I was just being nice. I can't scan through the chat and find all the... I can't. And I want to help you. It's $1.99, folks. It's not a lot of money. And honestly, the more you give, the more you get back. So if you're afraid to give $1.99 for a super chat, the odds of you making billions of dollars are low. People that make billions of dollars give a lot of money out of their hand. Like, money leaves my hand every day. I tip very nice. I give. I don't question. I just keep giving. When I buy something, I don't, you know what I mean? Fine. Of course, I ask for a decent price, and then I go for it. I don't nickel and dime. Because if I'm nickel and diming myself, then so is the universe. You get treated, you reap exactly what you sow. The Bible says that. We say it. There's a reason for you reap what you sow. So you get back exactly what you put out, man. You got to put it out there. If you want money, you better be giving. You better be putting out money. Lifer, we're poor. It's the bear market. You're never poor. You're lifers. Nobody here on this channel is poor. Because you all have a beautiful mindset. And a mindset is the first thing that makes you wealthy. I didn't get wealthy when my bank account didn't get, I didn't have a stagnant brain and my bank account got big. Did that make sense? Hold on, let's slow it down real quick. I was working a night shift for somebody else. This was me. I was working a night shift, hi me on the night shift, right? I was working for somebody else, making only so much I could make a week. I was capped at that amount of money, right? My mind said, okay, I'll take that. When I decided that was my reality, I stayed there. Once my mind said, no. I'm supposed to be making millions. I'm not supposed to be in this job. And I started projecting a life worth living. I started telling myself that I was a multimillionaire. I started telling myself that I was going to change the world. Next thing you know, I started my YouTube channel. Next thing you know, the channel started picking up. Next thing you know, I quit the job and was able to do YouTube full time. Okay? And I made the transition, which millions of people want to do what I did. The whole world wants to do it. Like 99% of people want to get out of the rat race, become one in the top 1 to 5% of income earners in the world. You see what I'm saying? So, Trader Face, you're funny. I know someone was going to do it. So he goes and does it. You're funny. How do you feel about Ondo, the founder? Yeah, the founder died, and then and that's another thing about Bitcoin. I'm not trying to hurt, God rest his soul. So sorry to hear that about Ondo founder. But, Bitcoin doesn't have a founder that can die. That's what I love about Bitcoin. You can't go outside the office and picket Bitcoin. You can't say Bitcoin's, associated with it. People can say whatever they can make rumors all they want, but Bitcoin is what it is. It's a standing protocol now, no matter how it came out, right? You make profit or loss purely on your own hard work, yeah. Just don't get wrecked so you can get out of the rat race, 100%. That's why I talk about DCAing, demo trading, learning this first, because so many people get into this and it turns into losing money. Mind doing quick TA on Ton. Thank you. I'll take a look at Ton. Thank you so much for the super chats and labs for my man Reliable J. Not lab, sorry. Two different projects. Underground Crypto's best live streaming crypto. Much love, boss. God bless you, man. Thank you. Bitcoin Bill with a $100 super chat. 20 gifted memberships. Reliable J with lab and my man asking about Ton. Noah Wick. $44.99. So my whole point is once my mind changed, the channel I built the channel. If my mind didn't change, I wouldn't have built the channel. The channel couldn't have grown. I would never become a multimillionaire and change my life. So my mind changed. And that's how I got out of the night shift and got into a new world. So don't tell me that you guys are poor, because you're not. Everyone here has a mindset that's rich and wealthy. And once your mindset is rich and wealthy, your lifestyle will follow it. You have to raise your standards, though. You have to say, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not going to the bar with those people who talk about nothing. Maybe instead of the bar, I'm going to go to a Sal. Labs just went to 19. Like, that's just unsustainable price action. I've never seen anything like that. That's insane. That is insane. We talked about it yesterday, breaking out of the flag. I believe we gave you the flag right here. Monday at 10, 9, 10. I think we drew this flag here, right? Remember drawing something on the 15-minute? Yeah, I think we drew this flag right here. And I was talking about getting into labs, and I said, look, the target says it can go all the way up to 21. That's insane that all you had to do was just ape into labs at $14. Man, it hurts, man, because I didn't get a huge piece of this, but I think the lifers did. We started going over this thing when it was like $1 or something. Crazy. I don't know the first day I went over lab, but if we could find out, it was That's an amazing call on the channel, I have to be honest. And we went over it yesterday too as well. All right. B. Calf with the $20 super chat. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. I don't know if there's anything you want me to go over or you forgot to write. Let me know, though. Or if you're just sending it my way, I appreciate that. At this point, I mean, I would have taken profits here or here. I can't believe that. It's just too far away from the 21-day moving average. That now you're getting really far apart on the 200 and the 21. If you get another, and then you're getting some bear div here too. What you can do is you can continue to see if you can run this up. It might go to 29 but you just got to know that you're getting into a very extended area here. And that's a bit crazy. Shout out to anyone that jumped into labs. I want to see the labs. Who made money on labs? On labs. Sorry, I keep calling it labs because it was an older coin. Dang, man. And I liked its use case. It was just 50 cents. It's done a 40x. It just hit 20 bucks in front of us. And the high was already, it did hit 21, basically, like I said. It hit 21, 23. Crazy from yesterday's call. Look for it to go sideways for 6-8 hours and maybe pump again. I guess the thing is just on a non-stop move to the upside. Ton coin. I like Ton. Let's take a look. It had agentic AI's big news. It's got a doxed founder who is really passionate about freedom. He's gone against governments around the world. It's been an interesting coin. Went to a high of 228, back to 193. I've loved Ton since it first really came out. It's got the messaging app. It's got a lot going for it. It's got its own ecosystem that produce an economy inside of itself. So, to me, definitely something you want to pay attention to, right? Ton. To me, it's retesting the 4-hour 200. It's kind of doing something like this. I'd raise this resistance here. I'd couple it with this top. And I like to see Ton bounce off the 200 moving average with this 4-hour here. It's a really good bounce area. Could be a very high risk buy right now. Let it bounce, get tight, and then to me, that's the entry. And then Ton breaks out from this key area somewhere about 213 all the way to about 274. But I am bullish. Ton looks better than most. Look for it to bounce off the 200 on the 4-hour. Look for it to pull the 21. Once it does that, a stop loss beneath the point of control and the 200 would be heavily protected. I like that idea. I mean, that's how I trade, so that makes a lot of sense. Are you enjoying the stream? Share your appreciation. Join the trading group if you want this knowledge. If you want, I'm going over coins all day long. I'm scanning thousands of coins, hundreds of coins. If I see 5 or 6 after the 100 that I scan, I pump them out. We're here every single week. Every Thursday, we do a weekly screen share. We hang out together. It's awesome, right? Yeah. He said Zora took off. I had Zama too. Zama, Zora. It took off, but it's actually pretty reserved. I'd kind of see it something like this. I'd like to see everything to me as consolidation above the 200. When the market's not good, they dip a lot into the zone. When the market's great, too many people buy up. They can't dip. There's just too much buy pressure. When there's less people, they go after the stop hunt. See, so altcoins are fun, but they're just speculative. And when there's less volume, it's easier to get stopped out. That's all. If I put out 10 setups, maybe 6 breakout, or maybe even 3 breakout in a bear market. But in a bullish market, like 8 or 9 out of my 10 setups breakout. Doesn't mean we can't. That's why we do more observation in the nasty market, because we have to wait for better confirmation. In a better market, we don't have to wait as much. We can just ape in with the stop below here and wait. When the market's not good, we got to really wait to see if it's going to hold, wait for it to consolidate. So when the market sucks, I wait for far more consolidation. That's a really key insight that's coming out of my mouth right now. When the market's not good, I wait for more consolidation. When the market's fine, I just ape into the higher low, call it a day. So much funner to trade a bull market, right, than a bear market, just because of the way the price actually, it's just less stressful in some ways. You have more probability that the market's going to go the way you picked it to go. Lit looks really good in most of all time frame. Yeah, we already have a setup for it. I don't want to ruin it. It's in the trading group, so if you want to jump on in, it's right there waiting for you. All right. Beautiful setups. A lot of the stop losses do not get hit. I talked about ICP breaking up. I said going to 316 when it was right here. 268 pumped, came back in the pattern, then pumped again. Crazy. But did hit the target, which was just a measured move, which is the length of this. You swing it here, you know, just about. It was 313, 314. Question, Sam, when it dumped fast like that and you were already in a short, is it better to take profit or reinvest it as short with profits or keep position? At that point, I like to keep my trading. I've thought about my risk before the trade, so I'm not adding to risk inside of the trade. Just not what I do. You know what I mean? My monthly on the long was in profit, and it got stopped out. I had just moved it into like a $500 profit. So they made $500 after 2 months. It's kind of sad. That was supposed to be my big winner, man, but it didn't pan out. 67.2 was a long-term support. I remember it. We battled 67 for a long time. On and off, on and off, on and off. It was actually annoying how much we battled it. Yeah. No, you're spot on, dude. Shout out to Cashmore Crypto in the house. God bless you, brother. Thank you. I would take these Bitcoin dips to make plays on coins that are strong. Look at the NASDAQ. It's about to absolutely explode. Let me get rid of my writings here because they kind of get in the way, but I mean, look at that. A double bottom. It's a clear double bottom. It's a W ready to move. Stochastics are ready to pump. 4 hours ready to do some damage. I see at least 2 to 3 4-hour candles ripping out of this on the NASDAQ. Right? Yeah. If my memory, yeah, exactly. Do you do spots in the trading group? I do. Yeah, we do spot trading. Yeah. I can always get back in again. Yes, I can. If I feel like we're at the lows again, 100% I can. Yeah. What do you think about the people shorting Bitcoin? Think about the NASDAQ is about to drop. The NASDAQ is doing its own thing. And I agree with it, though. I mean, the NASDAQ is getting more and more extended. There's going to be a nasty crash at one point. I've never seen something pump forever. I think Warren Buffett sold everything. I would, too. I mean, if you're in the market for 50, 60 years, this is one of the highest places. This is one of the best places to sell. You got to sell the higher highs. You got to sell, you know what I mean? I'm just going to stick to the script. I'm not going to chase. You could chase AI bubbles. You could chase Bitcoin. You know what I mean? The key is to buy things in fear. We're in heavy fear right now. It's time to accumulate Bitcoin. That's it. Right? We go to 50K, I buy more. Right? All in long, Bitcoin at 6.7. Yeah, right? 6.7. Isn't that funny? And let's get back to BTC here. Wow, what a fun-filled show. The show went by so fast today. Wow, they dumped that puppy to the target. 67,350. And look, a bearish a engulfing candle on the 4 hour. It's just nuts. No hope, man. Like, no saving grace here. Just continuation dumps. I tell you, I keep doing the same thing now. I just keep saying, hey, I keep drawing descending triangles until they get us out of them. You can sit there and short this market all day and just keep taking the right shoulders. The lower high from that lower high. Could it be a double bottom? Maybe, but the odds are you're going to keep dumping until you don't. You know what I mean? And we need that tweezer bottom on the 15 and the 1 hour. Next 4 hour candle going to rip, somebody says. How long before the rip right back up? Today or tomorrow? I mean, there's a double bottom. First, we'll see it on the 1 hour. You'll start to pump. The 1 minute. 1 minute crosses the 200. 21 comes up. That's my scalp. At that point, usually the 1 hour will have closed a green candle because that move is the 1 hour candle turning green. But you're going to, so what you can do is you can front run the 1 hour. The second you think it's turning slightly green. Second a candle closes red, in 20 minutes, in 2 minutes, this candle will close. right? Massively grateful for this Bitcoin discount while my 401k is building. Perfect setup. New 8-hour candle about to open. Piver is getting ready to go. Much love to you. Shout out to you, the man. God bless you, man. Bearphoria engaged, right? I opened along on IBIT. Gap filled at 37.97. Wow, you're trading the ETF? There's the 50-minute. Eventually, the 50-minute is going to bounce. You got to kind of... I keep the 50-minute chart and the 1-minute chart open at the same time at these points. And then I go back in between them both. If you know what I mean? Because I'm watching both this price action at the same time. You can split screen and put them together, but... So I'm looking for the 15-minute to close at tweezer bottom. We tried it here. It looked good. I smartly did not get in. I smartly was able to use my subconscious mind to avoid that and not get into the long. As I'm telling you, you're going to keep dumping until you don't. Look, this is a head and shoulder pattern if you can't see it. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. That wants to dump that has a measured move. It says it's going down to 66.6 and possibly down to 66,000. So we lost the sauce hard body today for Bitcoin. One hour and the 4 hour looks to overextend. Oh, yeah. I mean, they're just way too far from the 21-day moving average. That's got to be, usually you rip right back. I mean, that's just too far for the 21. Here, though, I figured we were going to make the flag, and I had to go to the smaller time frames to get the continuation. You see? Now I'm back to this idea. We're going to make the flag here now. Eventually, we got to make a flag or some type of consolidated pattern or a reversal pattern. One minute looks bearish to me. It's telling me I should short the right shoulder right now. You can see it right there. Yikes for all the new traders. I think it's great for the new traders because they could take advantage of price action. You know what I mean? I'm explaining what's happening. It's AI and tokenization. Bitcoin really doesn't have anything to do with tokenization. It doesn't. I mean, it kind of tokenizes wealth, by putting wealth inside of the Bitcoin token. But it's not RWA. It's not trillions of unlocked assets being forced into the blockchain. So, that's a narrative that you can't escape from. And there's going to be money made there no matter what. There's going to be money made there. We enter yet another short here. The key is to keep it clean and collective. Don't go overboard. Right? That's a 4-to-1. Take profit is at 66,578. Right? I'm not saying I'm going to take this. It might reverse. Let's go back to the 15-minute. See what I'm doing? See how I'm playing with price action here? At one point, it's going to be a beautiful ape. We ape that long and just catch it back to the top side. I feel like that's the ape right now. There's your cup and handle. A double bottom, technically. Thank you for everything, Sammy. Big-headed shoulder of the daily also. I know. One hour candle just closed, so we have a new 1 hour candle attempting to make a tweezer bottom. It hit me one day. I said, when does every reversal ever happen? I said, well, it starts with one green candle. I said, every big pump ever started one green candle. One green candle. You know what I mean? One green candle, one green candle, one green candle. Like, you can't pump without the green candle. It has to happen. Hit me one day. I'm like, trading is so simple. Like, certain things can't do it unless they get this. So right now, I could front run this now. I think it's worth front running this now. This is high risk right now, what I'm about to do. I mean, the odds are you're going to continue lower. And you're going to make a bear flag. And then you're going to dump. That's what's likely going to happen. You're going to continue lower. You're going to make a bear flag on the 1 hour, and you're going to dump. Still says I might be able to get a tiny scalp there. And I like to get back to the 200 moving average. I mean, to the 21. If we just get back to the 21, and this is just like shorting, you know, you short back to the 21 when price gets crazy. Sometimes they just wick it a little bit and then do it. I'm going to take a long. Take profit 69,937. Stop loss is going to be at about what, 67,013. It's a great risk reward ratio if I catch it. You know what I mean? Made $1,000 last night. Made, what, 100 on the stream. So I'm up 1,070 in less than 24 hours. I risk half of it for the short, for the long. See? So now I'm going to take a long on weeks. $37 in fees. Not bad at all. You know, for 1.2 Bitcoin when I only had $2,300. Like 30xing my exchange. 30xing my position for $30 ain't bad. You know what I mean? And look, we're already up $50. I mean, that's how fast it can happen. I'm not saying we're going to hold that, but dang. I mean, I'm not like, you know, I don't know if that's going to happen for sure. I don't want to, it just happened, you know. But we'll see. I mean, this could easily turn dump skis on me. And it was a bad move. Turn red and just continue to dump. I'll get stopped out and then I'll do it again. Eventually, I'll hit one of these. I only need to hit 1 out of 3 of them. 3 out of 10 of them. I don't need to hit every one of them. But if I stick to this strategy over and over again, eventually I'm going to catch one of these big reversals. You see? I only got to hit 3 out of 10 reversals. So if you do something consistently, you can have a probability to win. Understand? I still understand this might make a bear flag, touch the 21 and dump on me, and I might make minimal. Look, now we're down 30. It happens so fast. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. All right? Anyway, I love you all. Thank you so much for jumping on in. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. I appreciate it more than you would ever know. This was an amazing live stream, one of the best we've ever had, honestly, in my humble opinion. Despite the bear market, despite what's happening, we got the lifers. You guys got me going. I'm down $2. Let's see what can happen here on the long. We aped it, baby. Let's see. I'll share what happens with this trade in the trading group. Go to cryptolifer.com to find out more. I've given some altcoins that I believe are ready to pop. There's some interesting information out here today, so pay attention. I'm scanning the markets for you, and there is opportunity to the people that are searching for it. I love you all. Thank you so much. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing. Let's go, baby. Crypto is life. I love you guys more than you would ever know. I'm never going to stop until my heart stops. And I'm going to keep going every single day. God bless you all. Thank you so much for this ability to show up. Dear Lord, thank you for what you've given me, the ability to be here every single day. Now we're up $79. We're getting a pump here. $82, $95. The king of 3%. Nobody makes 3% more than me. Oh, 295. You better go back to 3 before the, yeah, there we go. Nobody makes, hey, go back to 3%. What are you doing? The show's got to go on. Oh, yeah, there we go. Nobody makes 3% more than me. 5% up 132 on the trade. Let's go. 150 on the trade. Let's go. Let's go. Send that. Look how meticulously we waited for that entry. We'll see what happens. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. I appreciate you more than you would ever know. I'd have no show without each and every one of you. I'd be a nobody. I go places and travel places. Oh, you have 100,000 subscribers, and I get to use that as clout. That's each and every one of you hitting the button. So because each and every one of you hit the button, I'm actually a somebody. So you made me somebody. I appreciate it. I will never forget it. I'll do everything I can to help you become a somebody. I love you more than you would ever know. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And Man, keep pushing. Don't stop. And remember, the secret to success is getting started. That's it.